was just wondering if I could run something by you if you had a minute.
Okay.
Kind of a quick question.
All right.
Um, well, what I wanted to ask about was just something I was reading from a religious publication about the Great Multitude.
Okay.
Did you guys do you guys talk about that, right? The Great Crowd or whatever?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I was interested in this because I'd never heard anything like this in commentaries or historically, so I was kind of trying to understand it. But what it says is all the facts and the scriptures bearing upon the matter under consideration show that those who form the great multitude constitute a spirit class born on the spirit plane.
Okay.
So, um, do you, why do you, I mean, do you agree with that or?
Well, I mean that's a that's a long discussion there, and but we believe that the great crowd is a physical,
Right.
after the great tribulation, a paradise earth.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so we believe that the great crowd comes out of uh, Armageddon, the great tribulation,
They
into
do?
a paradise earth.
Well, what about, didn't some of them already die? They weren't in Armageddon, were they?
Well, there's two classes. One's a little flock, which the Bible calls 144,000 of the spirit anointed ones who ascend to heaven, and then the great multitude actually will go through Armageddon, make it in, but then there'll also be a resurrection here on earth.
Well, no, I meant didn't some of the great crowd already die? I mean, recently? Or before? I mean, how did they come out of Armageddon?
Well, Armageddon hasn't happened yet.
Right. Right, so you said they came out of Armageddon.
No, no, a great crowd will come out of Armageddon.
Oh, so they weren't part of the great crowd if they died already?
Right,
They're
right. The
not.
great
Well, what?
crowd
Who
is
are they part of then? Because they're not all the anointed. I mean, lots
right,
of Jehovah's Witnesses have died.
right, and there'll be a great resurrection too.
Well, you
After
said they would come out
after
of Armageddon. I think you're using Revelation 7:14, aren't you?
I have to look it up.
Which it does say that. That's kind of a interesting question, isn't it? Because it does describe them as coming out of the great tribulation.
Right. Which the great crowd that comes out of
Uh-huh.
there's now the great crowd, there'll be a bunch that come out of Armageddon, but the great crowd or the like I said, the two, there's the little
Yeah,
flock,
yeah,
the
but
big
the
flock.
verse describes them as those that come out of the great tribulation. But anyways, that thing I'm not trying to trick you or anything, but
No, 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 no.
what I read, it was from a watchtower about
Okay.
them being a spirit class, and the scriptures and the facts show it. I was just wondering how they
Right.
then found different facts or different scriptures.
Right. If I would be more than happy to have somebody sit down with you if you wanted to explain it a little bit better.
Well, I
Um,
can't. You can do
I
it
can
really
take your name and
quickly. I
number.
mean, no, I mean, what's your thought on that? Did you realize that they used to teach that?
Uh, Now, well, I'm still pretty new here.
Oh, okay.
So, I do know that there's a lot of old things that we've taught, and then over the years, there's been refinements and
Refinement?
things, yeah, and things that,
Oh,
come to light.
uh-huh.
You
When they
know,
were teaching this, do you think that they taught people that it was just the thought they had, or do you think they said it was from Jehovah in the 1920s?
well, I mean, there's a lot of things in the
Uh-huh.
1920s that we don't do now.
I wasn't asking that. I was asking how did they put that forth as from Jehovah or just a thought they
Yeah,
had?
well, the light gets brighter, so things are
Yeah,
revealed.
that doesn't answer that question. They were putting it forth as it was revealed. Actually, they said in 1928 the writer they said this also of all the publications in another place, but the writer does not give his opinion. No human interpretation of scripture is advanced. And that's the kind of thing they would say in the 20s as well. So if it wasn't a human interpretation, where did it come from?
Yeah, again, I'm still learning a bunch myself. So,
Mm-hmm.
but again, I could send a more advanced person that would know more about it. If
Did
you'd
you?
like, I'd take your name and
Could I
number.
ask you a just quick personal question? What
Yeah.
convinced you that their claim is true, that they are the only channel of truth on earth and Jehovah's mouthpiece?
Just with the things that are being revealed, the truths that are here,
Like what?
a lot of the Bible truths that they actually do follow. You know,
So,
being separate from the world, basically.
did you ever research the history of the organization?
I did.
Okay, so you know about all the different dates and predictions that didn't come true, right?
Right. Yeah.
Like which ones did you learn about?
Well, I knew that first when they prophesied
Uh-huh.
1914, but then then they got it. So
They got it? What do you mean?
well, I mean Jesus is enthroned in heaven in 1914. You
What
see
were they
evidence of that
predicting?
now.
What were they predicting though before 1914? Something
I
invisible
don't
like that?
remember exact dates. I don't remember.
Oh, that's so crucial. Because see, when they talk about it, so this is why you need to research other sources. Because when they talk about it, they don't usually tell you what they were predicting. They just say things like, we were predicting, oh, the brothers knew that, and in the end of the Gentile times, they knew something great was going to happen. But they don't tell you the specifics, which are actually easy to test. And they said it was from Jehovah. And if you read yourself, just read, you want to put always the Bible first, Deuteronomy 18:20 through 22. Talks about people that say things in the name of Jehovah and they don't come to pass. How serious and severe was the penalty at that time? And it says in there, don't don't follow them, don't be afraid of them and don't follow them. And they've done this numerous times. And they always put it forth as from Jehovah and in his name, and they have called themselves prophets. Um, that's an important thing to consider. So, I hope
You
you'll
said
maybe think
Deuteronomy
about that.
8:22.
What?
Did you say Deuteronomy 8:22?
18, 20,
Oh, 18.
20 through 22. Yeah, if you want to
Okay.
check that out.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, I appreciate the time here, but
Yeah, and a great website that really gives a lot of just things, not in a mean way or anything, but just facts on the different topics, is called jwfacts.com. I hope you check it out. They try to make people afraid or paranoid to look at other things, but that's not right to do that. I wouldn't want to be. I would never listen to that. Like if someone said, "Don't read this," I'm curious what it is they don't want me to know, right? I'm a big girl now and I can read whatever I want. So can you.
right.
So it's great. It's really has a lot of good stuff on there.
Yeah. Can I get your name?
Christine, what's your name?
Christine.
Uh-huh.
And I appreciate the talk there. So,
Okay. Okay. Well, God bless you.
well, have a good one.
Thanks for talking. See ya. Is this the Kingdom
Hello?
Hall? Hi, is this the Kingdom Hall?
Yeah, it's not the Kingdom Hall, but it forwarded to my number.
Oh, okay. Are you like one of the pastors or something?
One of the elders, yes.
Oh, okay. I just had a Bible question. It's something I was reading on jw.org.
Uh-huh.
Do you have a minute?
Yeah, actually, I'm out of town right now at a restaurant, but I
Oh,
just waiting for my food, so
I,
go
I
ahead.
I don't want to bother you doing that.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
Sounds
Sure.
relaxing. Okay, so it's John 8:58, and it says, I'll just read it in the New World Translation. It says, Jesus said to them, "Most truly I say to you, before Abraham came into existence, I have been." And I was checking it with the Kingdom Interlinear Translation, and it says, and the English words underneath, it says, "I am." And all the other Bibles on your website say, "I am."
Okay, and what was that scripture again?
John 8:58.
Hold on a second. on the JW library. I hesitate to put you on speakerphone because there's people around me. So
Oh, it's okay.
look here. John 8:58. Okay, so I just pulled it up. So what was the question again? I'm sorry.
Oh, well, it's different in the Kingdom Interlinear, and all the translations that you have on your website say I am.
I am. Or, let's see, the one I'm looking at says I have been. Is
Yeah,
that,
right. That's the only one that says that, is the New World Translation.
Right, right. Okay, and so what was the question exactly? Obviously they're trying to, the New World Translation is trying to get the essence of the actual meaning, you know, out of
Well,
that.
most other Bibles have been done by Greek and Hebrew scholars that know the languages,
Mm-hmm.
and that's been
Right.
shown that they didn't. The New World Translation Committee, we're not scholars in Hebrew or Greek.
Well, actually, you don't know any of the names of those individuals because they
Yeah,
never,
it's totally been revealed. It was revealed by former governing body member Raymond Franz.
oh, yeah, Raymond Franz,
Mm-hmm.
the individual that was disfellowshipped. Yeah, he has a lot of things to say.
Yeah, did you read his
Fred
book?
Franz. Oh no,
You
I
didn't?
wouldn't. That was someone
Why?
that completely. Why would I?
Well, are you
I mean,
It's
I don't have.
extremely interesting. I couldn't put it. I read it in like one day. It was so interesting to get his inside
Yeah.
perspective. He told about things like he thought governing body, which is actually a corporation term, would be so spiritual and all praying and reading the Bible. He said their meetings are conducted more like a corporate style. That was only one of the things he talked about. But wow, are you? Do they try to prevent you from reading other things?
No,
Oh, they
no.
don't.
That's
Okay.
that's a personal opinion of mine.
Oh, I see.
You know, if I feel that I found the truth,
Hmm.
and you know, in the past I've looked at a lot of different things. Um, Book of Mormon. You know, I started out with King James. But when I found the truth, what I think is true,
Hmm.
you know, I don't have any reason to go outside of that.
Why do they change so much when they're called? You believe they're true? I mean, do you think they're the truth now, or when they used to
Well, have you
teach?
read in the Bible where it says in the end of the days that the light will get brighter and brighter? In other words, the light of understanding on certain
Oh,
things.
that's it. You added a lot of words to that verse in Proverbs, and you might want to read the context that it's contrasting.
I know what the context
The
is. So
contrasting,
my question
but you
is,
don't, because
ma'am,
what you said
ma'am,
is not
what
about. It's not
did you
about
call me?
doctrine, so you
Ma'am,
don't know the
ma'am, could
context.
you stop for a second?
Yeah.
Can you stop for a second? What did you actually call me for?
I just wanted to see why they gave this.
Just to get into a Bible art? No, I don't think so. I think you just
It's
wanted
really interesting that they don't want to say
to
I
spout off
am,
your information.
ego eimi,
What's that?
I am. It's interesting that they don't want to put it as I am. And, the Jews then picked up stones to throw at him for they believed he was committing blasphemy by the connotations of I am, ego eimi from Isaiah, where Jehovah says I am and I am he.
Mm-hmm.
It says in
So
John.
You're thinking of the Trinity here. Is that what you're?
Yeah, that's why they had. That's why they had. That's why they had to change it. Yeah, it would definitely remind
that's
people.
the most easily disprovable thing in the world.
Yeah.
If you truly want to do your research, go
Yeah.
back and do your search in history with Constantine when the church came into effect and how they adopted so many of the pagan beliefs that they had, and that was one of them. That's not
So
that's
you're
not scriptural.
the early
Yeah.
church
Anyway,
fathers.
ma'am, you know what? My food is here.
Okay, okay. Don't want to interrupt.
And you're really not here to have a Bible discussion.
Okay, well,
you're to, I guess, espouse your feelings.
thanks for talking,
Thank you.
though.
Bye.
God bless you.
Have a minute.
This is the Kingdom Hall of Jehovah's Witnesses in Auburn. The number you called.
Right. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Can I share a scripture with you?
well, we've had a whole morning of that already.
Really? Well, this
Yeah.
is one that's a good one, so you might want to hear it.
Well, I appreciate your willingness, but we're all set.
I
Thank you
don't
very
think
much.
so. Do you know that they take the real gospel away from you with their Watchtower works?
Well, I don't see it that way.
Oh, yeah, because they say the New Testament is mostly for the anointed class.
No, that's not correct.
Yes, they do. Do you want some references on that?
Well, I don't know where you're getting the references from, but I'll tell you where you need to go. If you want to update that information, you need to go to our
Oh, no,
website,
they still teach the
which is
two-class system, that you're
jw.org.
not in the new
Okay.
covenant. You know, Jesus said that when he said, "This is the new covenant in my blood poured out for the forgiveness of sins." And no one has forgiveness of sins now unless they're in the new covenant and born again.
Not exactly correct.
It is.
That's
It's
not
in the
exactly correct.
Bible.
No, it's not. No, it's not correctly said. I know what you read is correct, but the application that you're coming up with is not correct.
They don't reference that verse very much, do they? You know, Ephesians 2 talks about those who are.
Thank you very much. You're not listening much. You're kind of wanting to give me a presentation.
Yeah.
Which
They
is fine.
teach even
I
Jesus is
understand
only
it.
mediator for the anointed. Did you know
Have
that?
a nice day.
Did you know
Okay.
about mediator? They teach he's only mediator for the anointed class.
Are you a reasonable person?
Well, I just read the literature.
Well, what did Jesus do when people were talking?
We're both talking.
Remember?
We're both talking.
Yeah.
You don't make any good points. You just keep saying you're wrong. You don't know what you're talking about. I can give you references in the literature. Did you know about the mediator?
Jesus did not say that, did he?
Say what?
When he was talking. He wasn't correcting people.
Well, Jesus wasn't correcting people? What Bible do you read?
He was.
What Bible do you
I
read?
didn't say that.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Well,
it's
look,
in the book.
You have a nice day.
It's in the book called Worldwide Security Under the Prince of Peace on page 10, if you want to check it out. There you go.